Previously on Mad Bets.
The Titans will not lose by 6 points, all right? I don't know who wins, but I know no team's gonna lose by 6.
Kansas City Chiefs, -3.5 on the road at your beloved Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes is going to light them up, man.
And I'm committing none other than my hometown team, the Denver Broncos, baby.
Welcome back to Mad Bets, Yahoo Sports weekly gambling show. I'm Matt Gothard, the resident degenerate gambler here at Yahoo, here with former football player Jared Quay, who's currently maybe in some debt.
In debt? Yeah, right, baby. I mean, I lost some lower ones. I lost some of my 5 bets, my tees and all that, but my 5-star confident pick hit the money, man. I made good money, man.
Titans look good. Titans look good.
I told you, man. And then for the Jets, man, let me go ahead and start this. I feel just like Dennis Green. They were who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
That was a bad football. Overall bad football.
Up 16-0, and they were like, oh, we the Jets. We should lose this game because we don't know how to win.
That was rough. That was rough. But you were pretty confident about that. So, as always, we're going to go through every game in the entire NFL slate, starting with our most confident pick down to our least confident pick. We're locked and loaded on these picks. What is your most confident pick of the week, Jared?
My lock of the week, baby. And I'm giving it 5-star confidence again because it's going to happen. Dallas Cowboys -4.5 on the road against the Redskins will hit, all right? Don't overthink this. It's easy to overthink. That's why the line is put that much. Dallas Cowboys are a better team. Everybody knows the Cowboys are going to win. The Cowboys know. The Redskins know. I know. Vegas knows. Put your money on the Cowboys. The Redskins, they had a closer game, but it looked closer on paper than it actually was. During the second half of that game, they were 3 and out every series except for the last one, which they scored, but they needed 2 fourth-down conversions to get. They allowed both 5-yard averages to Jordan Howard and Darren Sproles, and Zeke is better than both of them, and Dak is playing for a contract. This game will be ugly, even though it is on the road and road favorites are rough. Dallas Cowboys will win this by more than 7. I'll take them up to 7, but 4.5 is a still 5-star confidence.
4.5 definitely seems too good to be true, and that's why I almost want to take the Redskins. I would put like a 1-star confidence on that, but I kind of like the 4.5. What number would you take this up to? Like, say it on Sunday.
I would say if it gets to 7.5, then maybe think about not betting, but still probably do that. Don't overthink this, bro. What confidence is Case Keenum giving you to take them against DeMarcus Lawrence and company? One of the best D-lines, and Trent Williams is not even playing. He's like, yo, get me out of the Redskins. They need to change their name, and then I would put, that's the confidence. Once they change their name, then I'd be like, all right, maybe they're doing better decisions. I might not bet this game.
All right. So you're very confident about that game. I'm very confident that the Los Angeles Chargers are going to cover 2.5 points against the Detroit Lions. I know it's on the road. I know that both teams kind of blew a big lead, but the Chargers were able to still get that win. The Lions, and you had a good point earlier, the Lions, they started off great, but then they looked like the average team that they were last year in the second half. And I think that after tying that game, which was pretty much a loss, I look for the Chargers to come in this game and dominate early.
Both teams are undefeated. They both went to overtime. Chargers did pull it out. I have to agree with you here. I think the Chargers win this one. Solely because, like, back when I used to play, this is one thing you realize. When you win a close game, you don't sleep through the next game. They're going to come focused to practice every week. They're happy they didn't lose that game, and they're not going to fall asleep this game. They're going to blow out the Lions. The Lions barely won that game, and they really should have lost that game.
They didn't win. They tied.
They tied it, but they should have lost. Matt Stafford threw an interception, and whoever the powers above were like, you know what? We're going to let this end in a tie. But they should have lost that game. They will lose to the Chargers.
All right, what's your next pick?
My pick is, we're taking a lot of road favorites this week, but this isn't a road favorite. This is the Saints +3 against the Rams. If there's one game that was circled the beginning of the season, it's the Saints circling the Rams game. They feel like the refs beat them, and now they want to prove that not even the refs are going to beat them this game. They're underdogs. I think they win outright, but I'll take them at +3. I think Michael Thomas, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara look good. Latavius Murray looks more than ready to replace Mark Ingram in that role. But the Saints' defense is going to be strong here. I think the Rams have some holes. Gurley is clearly not 100%, or they're not giving him the ball enough. He's still effective, but I think Jared Goff and company are not as strong of a team to outright dominate the Saints, even though they're at home. I think this is another pick I'm very confident about. Not 5-star confident, but I would say 3 to 4-star confident. Saints are a good team.
I like it. I mean, I think you know that I'm out on the Rams right now. They didn't really show me anything last week in that push against Carolina to think that they're as good as they were last year. I mean, sometimes I've seen the line at 2.5 some places, so the field goal is nice if you can get it with the Saints. I almost kind of want to put money on the Saints money line because I feel like whoever wins this game, I think if the Saints keep it within 3, they're going to win. So that's why I would do that.
Get help from the stripes, man. Karma. They're going to be like, man, we messed them over last time. Let's go ahead. Hey, that was pass interference. I know. Go ahead. Y'all got that. Go ahead, Mike. Come on.
All right. Well, my last locked and loaded pick, I'm definitely not as confident in this as I am the Chargers, but I got the Philadelphia Eagles, also on the road, taking on the Falcons Sunday Night Football. This is kind of going off of last week, right? Like I watched both those games. The Eagles looked bad at first, were able to come back and kind of dominate that game towards the end, and the Falcons never showed any signs of life. Maybe the Vikings are just way better than we were giving them credit for, but Falcons did not look great. So I look for the Eagles to own this entire game. 1 point seems pretty easy.
This is where we're going to be our first disagreement here, I believe.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to overreact week 1, and I think that Falcons got dominated by the Vikings. It's putting your mindset. This is a home team that's still fairly good. They have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. Devontae Freeman should have played better. The defense will play better. I think you don't go road favorite here with a team that has a lot to fight for. And so I believe that last year the game was really close. And the Eagles don't necessarily look like the well-polished team that they should be. They lost Malik Jackson in the front there. I would say the Falcons win this one. I'm not confident on that, but I would say if I was putting my money there, I'm going with the home team and the Falcons and an MVP-type quarterback and Matt Ryan.
All right. Well, you're going against one of my locks. Somebody went against one of your locks last week, and it cost them thousands of dollars. Let's check out this parlay right here. So he had a $300 parlay on FanDuel Sportsbooks, $300 on the Packers,
Covered.
the Chiefs,
Covered.
the Eagles, the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Cardinals plus 3.5, which covered, Texans plus 7.5, which covered, Raiders plus 1, and the Browns. The Browns are the only team that didn't hit. He would have won $60,000. But he's not getting that money. He's not getting that money because he didn't listen to you.
He lost that money when he put the Browns on the ticket, man. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. The media will lie to you, but we won't because we're gambling experts. Give me some.
All right. Well, speaking of hype, I think we were both on the hype train that the Raiders are going to be bad, which wasn't great for your commitment of the week. So maybe this week you take a different team.
Well, just before that, I just want to say there was a lot of X factors that motivated the Raiders to prove that they were good, and so there was a different motivation. And look here, all right? You can buy back into your Survivor League, and I won't fail you this time, all right? We're going to make stronger, better decisions through and through. And so this week I'm choosing none other than a 12-point favorite and the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Cardinals, all right? We both know they're going to win, all right? Baltimore looked amazing, and the Cardinals looked suspect. Both of them are going to need similar game plans to play. I just think Baltimore's going to do it better. We'll be safe. And if I'm wrong on this one again, no more commitments. I'll just be the bad luck guy, and you pick the opposite team every week. But we know the Ravens are going to win.
I love it. I love how you're saying to fade your commitment of the week.
I was biased last week, too. The hat looked good on me. I was like, I like this Bronco hat on me. This hat looked good on me, too. I think I might be biased this week, too.
It does look good. Where are you getting all these hats?
I'm getting them from the Yahoo Sports Shop, all right? You guys go check out the Yahoo Sports Shop. They got the nicest hats in the game. You see me. I look, obviously, just way better with the hat on. I'm not even a Ravens fan, but I look like it because I got this hat.
All right, so Baltimore minus 700, or if you're in a Survivor League, pick them straight up.
Yeah, let's get Baltimore out the way. Let's get a victory and start the winning train.
Get your favorite team merchandise at Yahoo Sports Fan Shop.
Well, look, the Ravens are my Survivor pick of the week, but this ain't a Survivor show. This is a betting show, so let's get back to business.
You're right, it is a betting show, and I don't think it'd be a good betting show if we didn't do a couple of teasers. So maybe we move on to our tasty teasers of the week.
I know my teaser hurt me last week, man. I thought I was going to win.
It was painful.
But this week going to be better. You ready?
It is. Who do you got?
I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars, completely biased, from plus 8.5 to plus 15.5. I'm taking the New York Giants at home from plus 3 to plus 10. And I'm taking a surprise pick, the Miami Dolphins, from plus 20 to plus 27, because teams just don't get blown out that bad twice in a row.
Ugh, I think I hate all three of them.
All?
I think I hate all three of those picks. I mean, we can break it down if you want to go through why, but I just don't really enjoy any of them. I mean, when you look at it, honestly, in my teaser, I'm going to end up taking the Texans. I'm going to tease them down, but we can get in that in a second. The Jaguars did not look good. And I know that you're on the backup quarterback train right now, but I am staying off of that. I'm not a huge fan of the Giants right now. As long as Eli Manning's in those games, I really don't want to put any money on them. Once they move past him in like 3 years, when they finally decide to, then I'll start putting money on the Giants. I'll stay away from that. And the Dolphins, this is the main one. The Dolphins lost by almost 50 last week, right? The Patriots beat the Steelers by 30. 27 is not that much in this game. I could see them winning by like 40. You really feel that way?
As a wise man in the game, in a gambling game, and as a football player, I can tell you from backwards up, teams don't get blown out twice in a row, okay? I'm telling you right now, if they get blown out twice in a row, everybody in that locker room's job is now a liability. People may not be able to feed their family. They coming in hungry, and if they lose by 10 points, that's okay, we can survive that. But if you get blown out by more than 27 in back-to-back weeks, it's over. And the Patriots lose to teams, the games he lost last year. He lost to Matt Patricia and the Lions, who are not a good team, but previous coach of the Patriots. He lost to the Titans and Mark Vrabel, previous coach of the Giants. And guess who the Dolphins head coach is? That's right, last year's defensive coordinator of the Patriots. This is going to be a closer game than you think. And as Alan Springer, my boss, would always point out, Belichick likes to lose early. This is the game he wants to lose so they don't lose late. If he loses this one, he's fine. He gives like, my guys now got their head on straight. They're not going to think they're going to run undefeated. And so I'm good with that. The Giants, Saquon Barkley's good, and I just don't think the Bills are good. I think the Bills got lucky. I don't think they win back-to-back. In 10 points, they would have covered. They won by 1 last week. I don't think they win by 10. And the Jaguars, I'm biased. I think they're good. I think the Texans are dealing with Deshaun Watson, could be hurt, and I don't think their defense plays up to par, and 15 points is a lot in AFC South game.
Well, right now you can go to Las Vegas to a legal casino and put in a prop bet of will Miami go 0-16 for the year. It's like plus 500 is yes, and I think minus 1,000 for no. Are you putting any money on yes?
Yes, the Dolphins won't go 0-16, all right?
So you wouldn't?
No, they're not going to go 0-16. They have a good secondary. They have players. Yes, they traded away some players, Larry Matunsil. NFL is not that unbalanced, all right? Everybody has the same salary cap. Everybody gets draft picks. And, in fact, Miami's been getting higher draft picks ever since. So they're eventually going to turn on. And they play the Bills and the Jets twice in a year. They're not going to lose every game.
All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree, and I'll just move on to my teaser. So first game, like we just talked about, I'm taking the Houston Texans from minus 8.5 all the way down to minus 1.5. And then I'm moving on, and I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs from minus 7.5 down to 0.5, and also the Minnesota Vikings from +3 up to +10. I feel good about all of these picks. And you know what? There's a way we could both win on that Houston Texans game.
That's the only good thing. And I still feel bad because I want them to win because my brother's on the team. But technically, when we tease the both, there's a wide window to middle there, all right? We got up to, if they win by 14, we'd be good.
Yeah, because you get 14.
Yeah, we would be good. I just feel like the Vikings are one-dimensional now. I know they have Kirk Cousins they can't throw. I just think they're going to try to run. And I just don't know if they're going to do that. And then the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes could be injured, and the Raiders just look solid. I mean, they look like they're trying to prove people that they didn't need Antonio Brown. They looking like Chucky's here to handle business, and they played strong. Josh Jacobs is a beast.
Yeah, but it was against a different team. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Chiefs if Patrick Mahomes is 100% come game day. And I just, in a pick'em, I got to go with the Chiefs there. And just to counteract the Vikings thing, they could run it, but I think they're going to get the passing game going more. Packers D did look good against the Bears last week, but this is a different team. I think the Vikings might be the best in the NFC North. So I'm looking for them to at least win, but +10 is pretty tasty.
But they got your boy Aaron Rodgers. You love Aaron Rodgers.
I love Kirk
He's
Cousins.
the best in the world. Aaron Rodgers could be he can play basketball if he wanted to. He's that good.
That's a lot of sarcasm coming from somebody who bet against him and lost last week.
I know. You're betting against him. You might be in my seat next week.
I might be, but I don't think so. I'm locked in on that teaser.
Well, I hope you're wrong. And I'm not even betting against you. Just because I said that, I hope you don't win that one.
All right, well, I love my picks. I hate your picks, but we'll just have to see. Time will tell. But speaking of hating, I think it's time for my favorite segment of the show, I Don't Hate It, where we're going to go through the rest of the games that are left and take off the ones that we don't like until we have one game left that we do. Sound good?
I saved myself some money last week by getting good at these games, too, because they planned out just how we thought they were. My first game that I hate is an AFC South battle between the Colts and the Titans. And no one knows who's going to win this game. Titans look really good. In fact, the Colts looked a lot better than people thought. Colts are +3. They could win this game. Titans, they like to blow games that are close. They like to win games that are underdogs. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to bet on it. I think both Marlon Mack and Derrick Henry will be a rushing battle, so it may go low. But get it off the board because I'm not betting on it.
I agree. I'm not putting any money on that game. The Colts did look pretty good. Titans look great, so it just screams maybe a Titan letdown. But if I had to bet on it, I guess I would take the Titans -3.
It screams like a late comeback game, right?
Yeah. It also screams bad football. So that's also why I'm taking that one off the list.
What game you hate? What game you hate?
I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Seattle Seahawks. -4. You know, after watching the Steelers last week, they're a bad team. They're a bad team. There's no other way to say it other than that was probably the worst performance on Sunday. I mean, and that's really tough to say when you look at the Dolphins, who scored more points than them. So without Antonio Brown, without Le'Veon Bell, you can tell that there's definitely a letdown on the offense right now. So I'm not taking away any points from there. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, they looked all right last week.
At home, right? Yeah, that's not right. I'm be honest with you. I hate the Steelers right now, man. They cost me some money. They didn't even look competitive, man. I feel like Antonio Brown was right, man. Y'all got to let me go. So I don't like that game at all. And I do think that the Steelers probably will win this game because they always find a way when everybody hates them to figure it out. But I think that's an ugly game right there, man. It's going to be a Russell Wilson versus Big Ben trying to figure it out type game.
AFC North is wide open. It's wide open.
It's wide open unless you're the Ravens and you have Lamar Jackson throwing the ball like he's the new Pat Mahomes.
I think it'll change. All right, who do you hate?
My next game I hate is a team that's in my doghouse. Really, two teams in my doghouse. The Denver Broncos versus the Bears. Both great defenses. Both haven't figured out anything on offense. Denver's at home, which is a home field advantage. But that's just going to be an ugly fought battle, and you don't know who's going to win that one. It's Von Miller versus Khalil Mack. That's the marquee players, the two defensive ends. It could get ugly. I do think the Broncos will bounce back. The Bears are supposed to be a good team. They're pinned for the beginning of the season to be good. But I would just not bet on this one and see what happens so I can figure out future references on who I want to bet on.
Yeah, I think if I was going to throw any money on that game, it'd be the Broncos money line. I'm not giving up on them yet. I still think there's value in betting on them this year. The Bears just look like they don't have any offense. So even 3 points in this game, whatever the over-under is, it's too high. What do you think of Trubisky, though?
I think he's in his own head. Did you see his press conference? He was like, I know it's a lot of pressure on me. They did draft me 2nd overall in the same draft class as Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes, and both those guys are all-world. And here I am with an amazing defense, and I'm terrible.
He looked very bad. He's definitely the worst quarterback in that division.
I know Allen Robinson would have had like 400 yards if he was just a decent quarterback. Allen Robinson was making all-world catches just to make Mitch Trubisky have some numbers. But, yeah, he was bad.
Do you know where he was on Thursday night? He was on my bench for my fantasy team.
Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, you drafted Mitchell Trubisky.
No, I didn't draft Trubisky, but I sat Robinson and played Montgomery, but we will talk to Brad about that.
Montgomery's good, though. I'm talking to Brad. Montgomery's good.
He's going to be all right. All right, so we have 2 games left, and I think I'm going to have to pull down the Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco is a 1-point underdog in this, but I don't know even where to start with this. The Bengals looked okay last week, but maybe that's just because the Seahawks look worse. And 49ers, that was a very ugly game against the Bucs.
I think Nick Mullins is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. There, I said it. Yeah, he's high paid. Obviously, whoever the coach's daughter was like, get Jimmy Garoppolo. He's hot and handsome. But I just think that he does not look good. Not in the preseason, didn't look good in the first game. Jameis Winston was the MVP for the 49ers that game 1. If I had to bet, I'm putting money on the Bengals at home, but I'll leave it alone right now.
Yeah, and speaking of looking good, Andy Dalton looked pretty good. I think he was dropping some dimes.
John Ross looked good.
Yep.
Tyler Boyd looked good. Giovanni Bernard looked good. They should have beat the 12-man.
Yep. Once they get A.J. Green back, that's going to be a dangerous team. Defense looked pretty decent, actually, so I was pretty surprised.
You're a Bengals guy. Are you doing the AFC North?
I still like them to win the AFC North. I mean, that is not a bad bet right now after you see the other teams. I mean, Ravens obviously were pretty solid, but
that's a seed right there, guys. Remember, week 2, Dr. called the Bengals.
I don't hate it. I don't hate that bet, and you know what? It means we don't hate tonight's game, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to Carolina. It's Thursday Night Football again. Brad, welcome back. Thursday Night Football is here yet again. Carolina Panthers -6.5 hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who do you got in this one?
Well, I need to redeem myself after Matt Nagy royally screwed every Bears bet that I had last week. Thanks, Coach Nagy, for that lovely debut here on Mad Bets. But look, I know the public is hammering the living daylights out of the Carolina Panthers right now. According to Sports Insights, 82% of the public spread tickets are on Carolina. But I'm going the opposite direction. I'm going to fade the majority here. This is a division game, division rival. Everybody's off Tampa Bay. after the stinker that had dropped on the field last week against San Francisco. So give me the Bucs plus 6.5. Some books have it at plus 7. But I think Tampa Bay, which I believe is 2-1 in the last 3 matchups against the Panthers, against the spread, will find a way impossibly to cover this. This game really honestly screams to me just like it was Houston and New Orleans. People, going to the side of the home squad, thinking, hey, this is a lock of the century. But I think Tampa Bay, again, will find a way to cover.
All right, Jared, do you agree?
Well, last week on Thursday, me and Brad both agreed that the Bears would win, and it didn't look good. And so I hate to say it, I'm agreeing with them again. But not only for them just to cover 6.5. I know I sound crazy, but Tampa Bay money line.
Oh,
yes.
Tampa Bay money line.
Yes. Jameis is either great or bad. And I ain't gonna lie, something's wrong with Cam. We know that. Their whole offense is debated on Christian McCaffrey, and I think Sue and company is gonna know that, and I'm taking Tampa Bay money line.
All right, we'll talk Christian McCaffrey here in a second. Last week I went with the public and took the Packers. This week I'm going with the public again, taking the Panthers minus 6.5. And so I'm going on the Cam train. I don't believe that he's hurt. So I'm gonna go against you guys. The over-under, though, is set at 49 points. Brad, what are you thinking on that side of things?
Well, I mean, the history of this is screaming under. 7 of the last 10 matchups between these two teams have done exactly that. In fact, Tampa's last 7 games, they've gone under in 6. But Bruce Arians loves to air it out. Jameis Winston cannot be this rancid. There's no way. Not with Chris Godwin, not with Mike Evans. And Mike Evans was ill last week. He was barfing on the sideline. And on his self as well, because, he only had a couple of catches for less than 30 yards. I think they're going to right the ship here. They will find a way to put up some points. Carolina could be scoreboard chasing at some point. There's going to be a lot of fireworks there in Charlotte. So I'm going to go against the public. I'm going to go against the trends. It gets bucked. Give me the over.
All right. Jared, what are you thinking?
I'm following Brad through and through. I'm taking the over 2. I think Tampa Bay gets to an early lead, and Cam Newton and Superman Heroics tries to bring it back just like he did against the Rams. And I think this game is a high-scoring game in the 4th quarter. Both teams score at least 14 points.
I feel bad and all alone because I'm, again, against you guys. You guys keep saying Jameis Winston can't be this bad. I think he can be. He hasn't looked great. And so I'm taking the under. I think the Panthers get ahead early, and they keep the score down and still cover the 6. But neither of those really matter, guys, because prop bets is where it's at. And the prop bet for this week is Christian McCaffrey over under 66.5 receiving yards. Brad, as a fantasy guy, what are you thinking?
I'm hammering the over here. I mean, CMC had 10 catches for 81 last week against the LA Rams. Now, he was over in one matchup against against Tampa Bay last year and under in the other. But this is a guy that is the safety valve, the blanket, the binky, if you will, for Cam Newton in the short field. And he's so good after the catch. He's shifty. He's deceptively powerful. He is going to be an integral part of this game plan from start to finish. And, if Jared and I are correct in our assessment here that Tampa Bay gets up early and Carolina is in force of play in catch-up mode, that's only going to benefit CMC even more. So, yes, I'm taking the over. I think it's at least 70 yards through the air for McCaffrey. He may go over like $160 in total and find the end zone multiple times. He is so damn good.
All right, Jared, what are you thinking?
I am done following Brad. This is the one I stopped. I think the half point kills you. I think that if the Tampa Bay has done any research, you have to guard Christian McCaffrey. That's the offense. You need a person where he's at everywhere he goes, even on play actions. I think that he does get 11 catches, but every one of those 11 catches go for 3-4 yards, puts him right around 50 yards. I'm going under on 66.5.
All right, I'm with you on this one, Brad. Mainly because I'm going to need Christian McCaffrey to go over if I want them to cover the 6.5. So in order to keep with my earlier bet, I'm going to take the over on Christian McCaffrey. Should be a good game tonight. Is there any other games that you like out there for this week, Brad?
Yeah, New England, back up the truck. I know you're laying 18.5. It seems absurd. It's one of the highest spreads in NFL history, but Miami. What are they, Florida A&M? Bethune-Cookman? They're a junior college-level team out there. There's mutiny on the bounty. Players wanting to leave. There's going to be a mass exodus in short order. They're done. They're cooked. I don't care if Antonio Brown is on the field or not. With Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman, Sony Michel's got to get back on track. Rex Burkhead looked great last week. James White There's just too many bodies to account for. Oh, hell, Philip Dorsett went over 90 yards and had 2 touchdowns. And it's embarrassment of riches for Tom Brady. The New England Patriots impossibly cover the 18.5, and they do it with ease.
I'm against Brad again on that one, too.
I know you're against Brad on that one. All right, well, make sure to follow Brad on Twitter at Yahoo Noise. Catch him Sunday mornings on Fantasy Football Live. Got all your fantasy and gambling needs. Everybody, we're ready to watch this game tonight. This has been Mad Bets. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Let's go Bucks.